Hello and happy hump day. It's Wednesday, and fortunately, the landscaping crew is working on the other side of my complex this morning. So I don't have to worry about them interrupting me, at least at this point, with their crane and their wood chipper and their chainsaws. Okay, so the goose story. I think most of us don't believe that it's a real story because she makes so many stories up, right? Um, and she always has inconsistencies in what she's telling us. Now, Life in Vibe, Ray did a video about this, I think this morning. But I think there's some problems with Ray's reacts too. And girl, I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but if you go back and look at that footage that you showed us from her earlier video of the goose in the cage and her husband goose circling the cage and protecting her, there are a lot of things on the ground that could potentially be fries. Now, granted, I can only see what's outside the cage. I can't tell if any of that got inside of the cage. But clearly, people were throwing things at that cage. And it looked like there was a lot of debris, which potentially could have been fries. The other thing is, yes, this was on the outside of a convenience store in the direction she was facing with her camera. But there's nothing to say that there wasn't a drive through behind her. Now, I'm not trying to give her excuses or whatever, but a story about a goose choking on um, a fry is maybe not newsworthy. It may be not something that you can go to Google and search Cornwall, Canada, assuming that's what city she was in when she filmed this, and find out that a goose choked on a fry. Now, it's really a stupid thing to argue over, and I'm surprised it even came up in a video this morning, but it did. It came up in a video this morning, and I was just kind of like, really? This is the hill you want to die on? The hill you want to die on. The goose could have died. It could be a made up story. I have no idea. There's not enough information in this situation to figure out what actually happened here. I'm sorry, but that's why I didn't cover it. I was like, well, that's strange. She doesn't even seem really sad about it. She's kind of insinuating that she's the one who did it. And then she laughs about hitting a beaver with her car, right? During the same one. Was this also the same one where she was like showing all her feminine products so that Natter would know that she's clean? Because what the hell does and Salad dropped out of the chat at that one. Because, like, what does it matter to him? She could buy all that shit in Kuwait. So why is she getting herself all primp and proper in Canada? Hmm? Why are you buying all fancy underwear? As she said, there's three types of underwear, right? There's granny panties, there's thongs, and then there's, what did she call them? What did she call them? I can't remember what she called them, but I'll tell you straight up, I get bikini briefs. Because they don't bother my C-section insertion. Like, if we're gonna go that deep, you guys. Anyway, today's the last day I will be 49. Tomorrow I turn 50. We're celebrating on Friday. The calls have already started rolling in. My uncle called me because with his new ranger assignment, he's not going to be able to make it in time for my birthday dinner on Friday. But we're talking about like doing something else together, maybe just like a little day trip in together, which would be nice because I haven't seen him in a very long time. And I don't think he's seen me at all with gray hair. So that's going to be a real trip to him. Because I've been coloring my hair for a long time. I've been coloring it brown. But it got too tiresome to try and find the right color that actually covers gray. And so my roots were always showing. Like I'd be real about like what's going on with me. I don't make up all these dumbass stories about what did she call her underwear? It was so stupid. But like she's supposed to be Pious Miriam now, and she at that Pennington's Hall that happened before she even did her first live stream in Canada. Like she's totally lying about her timeline. And then you got Amberlynn. Oh my god, with Amberlynn, you guys. Amberlynn's been complaining about her upbringing for like a decade. Right? Oh, I'm so sad. My parents abused me so severely. They were such horrible people. They have criminal records. They spent time in prison. These are horrible people. So it comes back into circulation over the weekend, I guess. I don't even know how I guess it was Reddit. Because I don't follow Reddit. I don't follow Reddit, and I've been following Amberlynn less and less because she's become so boring. Um, but there she is exploiting her mom for dollars again. She's exploiting her, trying to do the same thing that she did with the gal that found out who her doctor was, and she didn't even go through with the surgery, so it's not like it's really her doctor anyway. But she tries to create these dramatic situations and get everybody to feel sorry for her. Oh my gosh, Amber Lynn, the React channel community is so bad to you. So horrible. So I don't even think Jordy was the first to cover it like recently, like when it started resurfacing, because apparently he did a live about it on Saturday, and I was already hearing about it earlier than that. Like, I think FFG was already talking about it before he did his live. She said she was going to like, dedicate time to it, and she never got around to it. But she kept bringing it up, saying, I'm going to talk about this, right? So Jordy brought up the basics, and so did Alex. Alex is shook. And just covered these allegations, which they're not even really allegations. These are charges against her mom that mom pled guilty to in 2010. Okay. She pled guilty to something that falls within that municipal code. So we don't know specifically what it was. If she abused a dog, did she kill a dog? We know it was a service animal. And Amber's acting like scorched earth right now. But that's because it's bringing views to her channel. And she somehow thinks that she's going to get Jordy's audience. I watched Jordy's live about it last night where he was responding to her outrage about this. And the reality is, she's been highlighting her mom for a long time, as well as trash talking her mom for a long time. And in her more recent videos, she has been exploiting her mother's gambling problem. She needs to go to bingo once a week. She needs to go to the casinos once a week. Amanda White. It could be her animal attacking a service animal as well. I mean, we could come up with all kinds of scenarios of like what actually happened, but the reality is that Amber knows that her mom had an addiction problem and was out of control, and also on the same day was charged with some sort of um, violence against the dog owner, which would have been her mother, the grandmother that owned the service animal. So, like, we could try and hypothesize about, well, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. I don't think it really matters. It was 14 years ago. You're right. Um, and she's like, let the woman move on. Well, then why are you trying to highlight her on a very large channel that gets a lot of views, where people are going to dive deep into the backgrounds of your side characters and everything else, right? Like, why would you do that if you know that they're trying to come up from a criminal record, and you're out there showing them doing bingo, showing them going to casinos, and showing them driving you to a dispensary, showing yourself drinking in front of your mother who's a recovering addict? I'm not seeing how uh, this is a sob story for Amber at all. She's taking advantage of her mother. And I think that if her mother actually was buying into this whole I need to clear my name thing, she would actually be the one saying, yeah, I made some mistakes in the past because I had this huge addiction problem, and I paid my debt to society, and I want to move forward, and here's what I've been doing to recover and to become a better person. That's probably like if she wants to continue maintaining a social media profile like that, that's what she should do. And Amberlynn should sit down and shut the fuck up, because she's basically got the entire React community at this point against her. Like, okay, some of us might have been like, yeah, the Narc Alert channel shouldn't have actually tried to contact your doctor and attend like one of these um, sessions where you're learning about the processes and stuff. That's like a dive deep, right? Where you're crossing the border between being React and actually just like looking things up on your subject. I feel like Breezy did that too. She crossed the line with no. Try to get in there, dress up in fishnets and whatnot, and be like, he's my man now. This king, whatever the dude is. I don't follow them because they're really abusive people. But I certainly would not want to insert myself in their world. And that's what she did. And I don't think she did enough to actually. This is on the heels of her having everybody complain that she had somebody on a panel that had blackface. So she's already, and on top of it, she has all this problems with garlic bread. And I just watched one of her lives where she was like, yeah, I had to like file a police report. He wouldn't stop calling me. You know, there was, well, did you get a restraining order, girlfriend? And if so, when you flipped on your Twitter, why is he appearing in your Twitter feed? Because even if, let's say, she's not following him, if she has him blocked, even if somebody that she follows shares his material, it will say content not available or something to that degree. So, why is she still got him on Twitter if she's so scared of this guy? I'm not really understanding the details of some of these reactors. I'll tell you this much. This is my last day at age 49. I will be getting some Mexican food for lunch and having my nails painted. Tomorrow I will be 50. I already got the grace. I got the grace. But tomorrow I will be 50. But yeah, you're right. We don't know the details behind what exactly happened. Although, if it was Amanda, a situation of dog on dog, I don't think that she would have been charged with anything, do you? Unless she was like literally like, sick 'em. If she sicked her dog, sure. But I don't think that happened. Do you? I mean, that's a lot of stretch thinking to get to the point where you're like, I don't know. There was also the whole maybe she was kicking a canine unit. No, they're not considered service animals. Hey Dakota, how you doing today? It's actually a little sunny today. They did not predict the weather properly. It was supposed to be raining tonight, and now it's supposed to be clear all day and all night. So I'm super stoked. You're doing good. Nice. I'm torn between having huevos rancheros or albondigas soup, or just like a taco. I'm a little, but I definitely want to go out and have some Mexican food today and get my nails done because they're really bad. They're in piss poor shape. And the party's on Friday night. Tomorrow I'm going to just be hanging out at home because I made sure to plan it that, like, because most people work, right? And my friends live all up and down the Southland. So they have varying travel times to actually get to the restaurant that we're going to. So I wanted to make sure it was going to be convenient for everybody. And thank you. I'm glad that you subscribed, Dakota. You're working. How's your work going? Is it stress free, I hope? Why does this keep blowing out? Yeah, sometimes I'm a little critical of the other reactors just because I feel like they are spewing information as though they're experts when clearly they're not experts. Now, I would say that Ray's video was mostly informational because she brought in some a video from a doctor who was talking about pathological lying. The thing is, yes, we know that Chantel makes up stories. but I don't think we have enough information to say one way or the other whether or not that goose died, right? And I think the only way we find out is this is if FFG goes down there and verifies it for us. That's the only way. Is if she does some field work for us and goes over and checks it out. I think it was in Cornwall, but I'm not sure because she's been taking the long road. We think she's visiting Natter. She's buying underwear and showing it on camera, which is weird as fuck for anybody, but especially a revert Muslim. I can't remember any time ever that I have like been like, and here's my new underwear purchase. Here's my new nighties. Here's the gold bond I bought for, where I have a C-section and a little bit of skin flapping comes over on that. So I have to use a little gold bond once in a while. Actually, I don't. I don't. It's like I don't have skin flapping at all anymore because I've lost so much weight. That hasn't been the case for me since I weighed like 210. And right now I weigh 139. So, but it's like, really, girlfriend? Look, your friends and family talk about how much you stink. Why don't you just like rectify the problem by taking showers every day? This is really a problem. So crazy that she just can't get her shit together. She also is like constantly buying soaps. Like she went to Lush and just like got all those soaps that smell like food so that she could like probably try and eat them while she's showering. If it's too difficult, she has complained in the past that it is too difficult for her to stand in the shower. She has not complained that it's too difficult for her to get in the bath, but I'm sure that it is because she's too large. She can't fit in the bath. Even if she had a Roman tub, that would be a stretch. I have a Roman tub, but I'll tell you straight up, I've been having, with the potassium deficiency and the various uh, side effects of complex regional pain syndrome, I've had some struggles taking showers where I'm doing my hair, I'm doing my upper body, and I start shaking, seriously shaking. So I end up sitting down in the shower stream to complete my bathing because I can't trust that I'm not going to fall. And, there have been other occasions where my leg has collapsed as a result of my condition. It just happened to be over the weekend where I had a leg collapse. I was planning on going to show you all the mission, and early that morning, I tried to get up from the chair and get some more Ovaltine, and my leg collapsed. I can't even tell that I have no heads up. You know how, like, when you have a body part that falls asleep? Like, say that you slept on your arm funny, or you sat on your leg funny, or whatever it is, and you have a body part that kind of falls asleep. As soon as you move out of that position, you can pretty much tell because the blood starts rushing back into the extremity. And it hurts. It's painful, right? I can't tell anymore. So if I cut off circulation by sitting funny, um, and then I try and get up, I don't know that I've done this. And I can't feel the blood rushing back in. because I have such numbness and tingling all over the place that I can't discern the difference. I can't feel it. Let's see how fast Chantel incorporates that into her story because she likes to steal our symptoms. So I've fallen quite a few times. I fell over the weekend. I fell on Christmas Eve. I fell a few times last summer. I fell a few times the summer before that. Fortunately, it hasn't resulted in any breaks. It hasn't resulted in any sprains. Fortunately, I guess with all the years of dance that I did, I'm a pretty graceful faller. Like I can get down there and just deal with it, like catch my breath and get myself back up. But it's still scary because I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to, like, it's happened when I've stepped off curbs or stepped on curbs, right? I'm a little afraid that it's going to happen like in the middle of an intersection when I'm crossing an intersection. And hopefully there'll be somebody around to help me get back up. There isn't always, you know? When it happens at home, it's just me. When it's happened in public, I've been very fortunate that there have been people around that have immediately run to me and picked me up. But I don't always know that that's going to happen. And I'm still trying to restore my body so that I'm not walking in fear, if you will. But anyway, oh, I think Jordy said that he's going to be covering another Eugenia live. So I might check that out. I might do a double coverage, like a react on a react on that. And if it's any good, like if it's just her whining again about please be nice. Everybody should just be nice. Shut up, girlfriend. Just like produce some content. Put some meat on your bones and produce some content. Like, nobody owes you niceties just because you decided to build up a channel for a fetish channel, which is what she did. She built up a fetish channel just like Chantel did, just like Amberlynn did. And Amberlynn needs to get her shit together. If she doesn't want her mom to be a focal point of the conversation, she needs to stop exploiting her as her taxi to go play bingo and hang out at the casinos and take her to a dispensary and drink in front of her. Amber, get your shit together. Don't put your mom under the spotlight if it's going to be difficult for her. Because, that's what happens when people become internet celebrities. And nobody is going to be looking at these React channels and saying they crossed the line because they didn't. You yourself have been talking about this shit for years. So enough is enough. All right, you guys, I'm going to go get some Mexican. I think I'm kind of settling on huevos rancheros. And then I'm going to get my nails done. And then tomorrow I turn 50. I might do a live stream for it. I might just binge watch some TV. We'll see what happens.